G'day, welcome to Mt.Coramba apiculture. It's Thursday the 8th of August 2024, just up at my Brooklana site, which is up the mountain from Nana Glen. Just back having a bit of a look at these hives, see how they're going. I've got some drone trapping frames I want to start getting in, and I'll take the feeders out of these hives. They've had about 8 litres of syrup, so that'll be enough for them at the moment. So the objective of today's check is to just see how they're looking and get these drone trapping frames in. So as long as I've got a few frames of stores here, I'll be pretty happy. And I notice that the bees are bringing in, so yeah, that's chockers full of syrup, so they won't need any more now. And I've just noticed that the bees are bringing in big fat pollen loads as well, so they're probably getting into a bit of wattle up here. And yeah, it's cold here today. There's some nice white wax with syrup or nectar in there, so they won't need any more feeding. Yeah, as I said, it's cold up here today. It's always cooler. We're a lot higher than in the valley, and you certainly notice a difference. So they've got plenty of stores. Let's get this super off and get down into the brood box. Still got our plastic sheets up, right up nice and tight to the front. See how they're going in the brood box. You might move them back a little bit. It's a working farm up here. There's tractors going in the background. Still got a bit of a cold. Sorry about all the sniffling last week. Listen back to the video. It was awful, and I apologise. So that looks really good. There's bees covering all those frames in the brood box. These are the drone trapping frames. So these were made for me by Bees at Coffs Harbour, and I'll put a link to them in the notes below. So we've got a section of worker comb up here and an empty section down here, which I expect them to fill with drone brood sometime between day 10 and day 24. When those cells are capped, we're going to harvest that drone brood out there, and hopefully the trap drones that are with it. We'll talk more about that method as we go. Just find a spot for this thing in here. Whoops. It's coolish, so I don't want to be in the brood boxes too long, but not enough to chill brood, but I certainly feel the warmth coming out of this hive. Nice solid frame of nectar and pollen. You can see the pollen there. You can see the pollen on their legs as well. So they're bringing something in. I'm pretty sure it's wattle. So that frame's sitting out. It's got no brood on it. This will be one of the stickies that I put in the other day, and a little hard to see without the sun shining, but yep, she's got that laid up with eggs, so that's really good. These bees are doing really well. Just that bit of a feed just gives them some optimism. So I'm looking for a frame that I can take out. Just go so that we're not lifting every frame out. Just back here to the other side of the brood cluster. See what we can find there. So we're still into brood. So that's pretty good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 frames of brood. Can't complain about that this time of year. And there's a frame of nectar there, so we'll take that up. Stunning. Plenty of beetles. A little bit of pollen there as well. once again our drone trapping comb in there. So the theory behind it is that mites prefer drone cells. No mites here yet that I've detected, and certainly none in any of my hives yet, which I'm surprised at. Mites prefer drone cells, so in a worker cell they get about, if there's just one mite goes in the cell, they'll replicate about sort of 1.3 times, but if they're going to a drone cell they get that extra 3 days, so the replication's about 2.4 or something like that. I know my numbers aren't exactly right, but the theory of it is that they do better in drone cells than worker cells because they get more time to replicate and more mites, so they know, given the choice, they'll go into a drone cell. I'm going to push that up. I've got that frame marked so I know that it's a drone comb. And that'll just help them with swarm prevention as well. So get this frame back in, just shake those bees off, and gently put that back in. Just push them down. Loving my Hive IQ hives. Really grateful for the support from the Hive IQ guys who helped me out immensely when I lost my bees at Nimboida. Just so grateful for their help. There's a link below at my website, a link below in the notes too for how to find them if you're interested in buying them. So I've just moved that back a little to give them more space through that queen excluder, and yeah, we'll get this super back on. So let's get all their frames replaced in there, and I'll just go and get another frame to fill that space up. So I've still got a heap of old brood combs that came out of the freezer at home. They were salvaged from my hives that were destroyed in the initial Varroa incursion at Nana Glen, so just putting them in. The bees, particularly a hive with this strength, will just clean them up in a day or two and carry on using them. So yeah, I'm really pleased with the way that hive looks. So into the second hive. Once again, there's a little bit of farm machinery noise, but it is what it is. Take our feeder out. Just check and see that they've stored a bit of nectar away. Yeah, that looks good. It's nice. Enough stores in there, so that's good. Not quite as strong as the last hive, but we'll see what's down in this brood box. Take the plastic off. Once again, great coverage of bees over these frames. They look really good. These are one of the hives that I bought from Raleigh. So the brood boxes that are a little bit unkempt, we'll be working on them. Frame of pollen. Nice frame of brood. Once again, I don't want to look at every frame. A little bit patchy, but that's better. Let's go back the other side of this brood cluster and find a frame we can take out. Don't think she's quite laying in there yet, so let's just go back one, see what's going on here. And there's brood there, so we'll put our drone trapping comb in here. In it goes. Just make sure those bees are shaken off in case the queen's on them. Just throw the pollen. Plastic back on. Once again, we're going to give them a bit more space to get through that excluder. And super on. Just going to put a comb in that blank spot. Lid back on. Under hive 3. Bit of rain expected starting on Sunday. So yeah, I'm keen to get through these hives and get everything tidied up. There's sort of kind of 3 or 4 days of rain coming, so just want to make sure they're all tucked in and happy. Feeder out. See what stores they've put away here. And feel the weight in that comb. That's good. Even a bit of pollen coming up in there. Feel the warmth coming out of this hive. So there's a drone comb that I pulled up out of the brood box last time. Let's take advantage of that and do a little bit of drone uncapping. So drone removal and uncapping is another method of detection of mites. These should be the right age too. Let's just see how they come out. They're a bit young. Yeah, they're all a bit young, unfortunately. Let's try and some down here. It's a bit better. So we're looking for the presence of mites in there. Don't see any there. Can't see any. So you've got to kind of open up quite a few to see. Nothing there, they're still a bit young to come out nicely. Let's try the other side. Yeah, I still think they're all a bit too young. Nothing seen. Yeah, not quite old enough to come out nicely, but yeah, nothing seen there. Righto, let's stop torturing those poor old drones. Check one more frame here. I pulled a bit of brood up. Actually, there's no excluder in this, so let's see if we can find a queen and get her down under the excluder. That's why we've got drones up there. Could have shook her in. There's no urgency to find her, but if I do, I'll whip an excluder in and tie it up. There she is there. Beauty. Grab her with my queen, hair clip queen catcher. Just sit her aside and I can see eggs in those frames. So here's a great chance to tidy up this brood box. Super off. I can now get some better angles, so hopefully we'll get some better vision. Only took me a couple of years to work it out, but I got there. So there's a nice, reasonably good frame. We'll see how we can find something better. So we're just looking at frames to get out of this brood box. I can see one there that will definitely come out, this broken one. So there's brood there. Lots of brood in there. Let's get rid of this one. So we know we've got our queen here. Let's get this up and out of the brood box with the broken lug. Just sit that aside for the moment. Nice brood pattern, good looking queen, nice Italian queen. Not savage. Let's find the other side of this brood cluster. That's about it there. So we put our drone trapping frame in. And it goes. Tighten those frames up again. Just find one more nice frame. Preferably something with eggs in it. There's eggs in there. Yeah, that'll do us. See if we can squeeze it in here. Just shake those bees off. That was good. Let our queen go. Excluder on. Great stuff. Plastic back on. Once again, we'll pull that back a little just to give them more space to get through. Super back on. See another broken frame there. These hives that I bought from Raleigh were, yeah, through no fault of the owner, just, yeah, not quite very well maintained. So these will come out when they're full of nectar and they'll just get scrapped. That'll do us. We won't put an extra comb in there, so there's 8 frames in a 9 frame box. Just even them up a bit. If there's any more brood in here, that feels heavy. So that's fantastic. That's got the queen down below the queen excluder. Got a drone trapping comb in. They've got plenty of stores. We've checked for mites in some drone cells, and yeah, that's a few boxes ticked. So we've gone to hive 4 here. Just looking at my records, this hive hasn't got a queen excluder either, so we'll try and do the same thing as last time and get this queen down under the excluder if we can. Using QR codes to keep records. I'll do a video on it soon. Feed her out. See, they're going up the stores once again. One of the rally hives that aren't in that good a shape. So let's see if we've got any brood up top, if we can find a queen. Otherwise, we can be pretty sure she's down under. Nice stores there. A little bit of brood there, so let's see if we can find a queen. Can't see her there. Can't see her there. Let's keep trying. Lots of drone brood there. The only drone brood I want in these hives is stuff I can remove, so this will be turned into a honey frame and not used in the brood box again. Nice if we could find this queen. It's an indication of the optimism in the bees, I guess, with this drone brood being put in. Once again, lots of drone comb there. Pretty well laid up. I don't expect to find her there. Let's hope she's down the bottom. That's full of nectar. And that's nothing. So she may be down the bottom. Let's see if we can find it. So you can see the absolute mess we've got here. Might not be the day for this. I think I'd rather have a nice warm day to pull this apart, but yeah, you can see all the lugs are broken off these. We might be better just putting some better frames in the top and hoping to catch it up in the top super one day and just swap these supers around. So that's the plan there, I think. Let's find another comb. Drop a drone trap and comb in the top. See if I can find another nice sticky. So there's a nice frame of wax foundation. We'll put it in beside this drone comb. So the plan of attack there will be to, next time we open it up, just try and catch that queen up the top. We will swap those two supers around and we'll let those old rotten frames down the bottom just be filled up with honey, and extract them and throw them away. So we'll come back to this another day. So I just got through to one of the last hives, and I forgot that I've had a drone trapping frame in here. So you can see they've done a bit of freelance work there, but they're going pretty well. See worker cells there and drone cells down here where they can freelance. I'll just get those bees off and give it a bit of a tidy up. I think it was just because the frames weren't pushed together really well. And so we'll get them back to sort that out. Just put it in a better spot. So we'll bring it over here. And drop that between those two tidy frames there, and they should draw it nice and straight. So let's see what's going on up here. We'll work on pulling that feeder out. I think they've got enough stores. Come on. Certainly taking up all that syrup. And there's no queen excluded in here either, so we'll see if we can fix that up. So we can find a queen. Terrible frame. Just awful. Really got to work hard to get these rotten frames out of these hives that I bought. Damn it. There may be brood in here, a little tiny bit, but certainly full of syrup, so they don't need any more of that. Sit that there. That's heavy with syrup as well. Very friendly, this lot. Ow. That's better. See what's going on in here. So there's a beautiful frame of pollen. There's some nice wattle coming in there. I think it's not the best pollen, but it'll do. Fairly patchy brood pattern there. You can see lots of pollen on those bees' legs. Light yellow stuff. It's either fireweed or either fireweed or wattle. Anyway, they're bringing it in. There's our queen there, so she's an absolute cracker. She's a beautiful looking queen. Huge big abdomen on her. Not a great pattern though. Alright, we know she's down there. Let's get a queen excluder on these things. Push them down. So we can come back at a later stage, just get through this week of rain next week, and we'll come back and sort them out and get the right number of frames down there. At least I know the queen's down there. So I put 2 old brood combs in from out of the freezer. This hive's strong enough and I'll tidy them up, no problems. I'll frame a foundation in there and they should go ahead nicely. Second last one for the day. So they look good too. Got to take this feeder out. Yep, got all that out. And plenty of resources in there. So once again, no queen excluded. We'll see if we can find a queen and get her down underneath. Start over here. Nice frame full of syrup there. So they're good to go. Once again, I think they're old brood combs out of the freezer, so that it had a bit of honey in them as well. That frame's completely laid up with eggs, and there's our queen walking around there. I'll just catch her. And find her again. Here she is here. Right. So she's caged up, nice and safe. Let's get her down underneath and get a queen excluder in. So just change that camera angle, get this green comb out and replace it with a drone trapping comb. Got her there. See what we can organise down here. Set my queen there for them. Getting tight. It's empty, so they're not pushed for space down here. So this will be the edge of our brood here. Brood in this frame. And there it is, nice brood pattern. Considering it's just a self-raised queen, there's a couple of cells of chalk brood there. That should resolve itself with the nectar flow. So let's get our drone frame in here. Pull that out pretty quickly. So out of the honey super and let our queen go. She goes. Scrawny looking thing. Let's top that up a little. Glued her on. So that's the last of the old brood combs that I had on the back of the ute. Try and get rid of. It's good to finally get them off the back of my ute. Fantastic.